Oh, I thought I was.
Be quiet. All right, the link should be going out now. The link should be live now. All right, looks like it is up on YouTube. Let me check Twitch real quick. Yeah, it's going. Okay.
Oh, how's my mic?
You good?
Hello and welcome, everyone. My name is Mikey Famine, and thank you for joining me for my first annual Juneteenth. We got sirens in the background to commemorate it. Juneteenth celebration, celebrating Blackness. I am joined here with an esteemed and lovely panel of some of my favorite Black YouTubers and podcasters. Jenna, why are you muted? Take yourself off mute.
I'm not mute. I'm sorry.
So let's just do a quick around the horn. Jenna, introduce yourself to the lovely people out there.
Yes. Hello. I am Jenna Miu, also known as your Black female atheist. Pretty much been in, this little atmosphere for about almost 2 years. Run my own channel with my co-host Justin. We call ourselves the International Free Thinkers. Our podcast is known as We Are Sober. Stylized as if was, so that runs every Thursday evening around 6:30 Pacific time. Also been a part of the ACA, Atheist Community of Austin, which I host and produce one of their shows called The Nonprofits. Came out of belief roughly about 2 years ago around that time, so now I'm here and I'm with all of you beautiful people.
Yay. Maya.
I'm not even really sure why I'm here.
Uh,
I don't have a channel. Fan extraordinaire. I am a human resources director. I do teach diversity and inclusion to people in Baltimore City. So very big on not necessarily diversity, but the inclusiveness, which is the more important part about why diversity is so important. It doesn't really matter if you have, a white girl, a Black girl, an Asian, if they're all, all of them are Christian, all of them were raised, upper middle class, all of them, went to the same type of school, are doing roughly the same thing. You're still getting roughly the same person. The important thing about diversity is the diversity of thought more than diversity of, perception or looks.
Yeah.
And why, so that we're making all of our best efforts to be inclusive of all types of thoughts and people, socioeconomic statuses, so on and so forth. So I do believe I'm a good person to be here, but I don't have a channel. I don't have anything to show.
We'll work on that. On that. Blatant Blatheist.
I didn't want to follow that. So, as my man just said, I am the Blatant Blatheist. I guess BKA Jerome Hall. That's me. My little YouTube channel, nice little startup. Mostly I'm into stand-up, but started doing skits literally, as I started my channel, started it just to try to like normalize atheism more, especially in the Black community, because we need it. But yeah, my goal is just to have a little Black boy like me somewhere see somebody that looks like them and believe something that they're afraid to believe, and is open about it. That's why I'm blatant with it. So that's me.
Like it.
Crimson.
Welcome to the this is in my show. So I'm Crimson. Basically I do YouTube, Twitch. I started my channel under the principle of anything can be an art. And be it playing video games, be it drawing, be it political philosophy. And I've been a non-believer for about, I want to say, 15 years since I moved out of my house. And like, I don't know if it was my move towards leftism or my move towards non-belief that kind of fed the other, but I believe that we should have not only a diversity of thought, but I also am one of those guys that believe that representation is important, because I looked at the landscape and I saw these just like middle class, upper middle class guys that, you know, I was told from a young age that playing video games, being online will never get you any type of money till we start seeing just so many like of just a different class.
Ninja. Shroud.
And it was like, yo, we can have more Black people get online, get more representation, get more into the internet, not have to believe shit because they don't have information. Like, we live in an information age, and yes, there's some negatives that come along with it, but man, we can do so much with the information that we have now.
Right.
Word. Mr. Delvin Cox.
How everybody doing? I'm Delvin Cox, host of a podcast called The Delvin Cox Experience. Woo! And like the tagline says, I'm on a one-man mission to unite our culture through diversity. And what that kind of means is, you know, I interview different people from different cultures, backgrounds, religions every week and have conversations with them. And no topic is off the table. I've always kind of been the one who tries to push the boundaries on things, whether it's race, religion, any topic. Like my episode 200 is literally about the N-word, because I think these are topics that we should not be afraid to touch up on, talk about, discuss, and give points of views on it, whether we agree with those points of views or not. But I feel like we can and should have civil conversations about those type of things.
Yes. And if y'all haven't seen it, go watch the 200th episode. An amazing guy wrapped up the episode. I think his name was Mikey Famine. What takes? What great poise, and God, he's good looking. Bars.
Is it my turn to go?
It's your turn to go.
Yes, sir, please.
Yeah. Okay, so I have a YouTube channel. It's called Black Atheist Rants, and I think I'm on the more extreme side of atheism. It's very anti-religion. I mean, I get disrespectful at times, right? It's not for the, what they call it, the fate of heart. It ain't
Clutching my pearls.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like I resonate with what everybody else is saying. And it's like, you know, I looked at atheism and I was like, man, I don't see, you know what I'm saying, this. So I'm like, and I talked about it every day, all day, on a daily. I said, man, I got to do something. So started YouTube. I started doing them in the car, and it just went from there. And I mean, I'm almost at 1,000. I'm almost at 1K. So, you know, it's that giant growing. And I always tell people, like, I can't make you leave your religion. All I can do is, you know what I'm saying, lead you to the water. You got to drink that. You know what I'm saying? It's all I can do. You can lead them to the water, but that's what it is.
As long as it's not Kool-Aid, we good.
Right. I was like, hold on now.
Dang.
There was this whole group of people drinking the same thing. It didn't turn out so hot. Didn't work out. So just a primer for the viewers about Juneteenth. Does anybody want to? I don't want to be talking the whole time. I want this to be a more open, flowing kind of John. So, does anybody want to explain what Juneteenth is?
Anybody? I can go from what I know.
Okay, I'll go too.
Honestly, that's it. Go from what we know.
So I'm not gonna do the whole story because I'm known for telling stories, but basically, it was a civil war because some people were just fucking assholes, and like they wanted to fight for states' rights.
Yes.
But the states' rights to own slavery.
Correct.
Who would have thought about like keeping people as a motherfucking property?
Property,
was a bad thing, right? So it was this one motherfucker called Abraham Lincoln who really didn't like slavery, but was kind of like, we may. And then these motherfuckers were like, oh, y'all elected him? He seemed like he gonna do some shit. And much like the motherfucking 2020 election, motherfuckers were so piss scared they tried some shit. Although they actually had fucking balls instead of the people that try to run the Capitol. Anyway,
Crimson, come on, man, succinct. What you?
So we had a war. They killed more people in the United States over some rich fucks having property, and it took almost 2 years after the end of the war for everybody to give up their shit. And the last place was in Galveston, Texas, on June 19th, 1865.
Sorry, bars.
No, I was gonna say the same thing. From what I know about it, it was so on Juneteenth we celebrate the commemoration of enslaved African Americans, and shit, he said everything. I'm trying to not say what he said.
The only thing I would touch up is the Emancipation Proclamation became law January 1st in 1862.
1862.
Three.
January 1st.
Three.
I thought it said
Three.
2. Okay.
Three. It's
January-
2 years.
January.
You know what? Google.
Yeah, Google it up, Jenna.
Thank you.
From what I
I said 1862 in my video.
Oh, I'm
September
getting
22nd, 1862.
and it became law.
Wait.
It became law effective January 1st, 1863.
Okay, that's
There
what
you
I'm
go.
thinking.
There you go.
And
So we all right.
we were all right. Everybody was right.
It was 62 and 3 and 5.
There you go.
Mind you,
And 5.
they only did that shit to the states that were rebelling. Like I'm
Correct.
just saying, like West Virginia, like
Gordon
he
Granger.
Man, he kind of left
There
them
you
had
The
a shit.
dude,
Okay.
yeah, the
So-
dude who did it was Gordon, the Union Army General Gordon Granger.
Yeah.
I wrote that down. See,
So 1862 or 3, we're agreeing here, was when the Emancipation Proclamation was brought into law, thus freeing all the slaves in the South. Some people were like, oh, okay, that's fine that you wrote that down, but I'm not doing none of that until you physically make me. And the last slaves were freed on June 19th, 1865, which is why today and forevermore we will celebrate Juneteenth as it's got several names. It was like Jubilation Day, Freedom Day, but Juneteenth had the best ring to it.
Right.
for the-
Interesting fact about that
the
too.
real,
Yeah.
the real Independence Day, not that 4th of July shit.
There you go.
Everybody wasn't free on the 4th of July. We eating barbecue, going over our cousin's house, getting in the pool and shit. What we celebrate? What was that?
Wait. This is the fucked up part about 4th of July. It was the anniversary of a declaration of war. It wasn't even independence. They just declared war on that motherfucking day. That's just lost to history.
That's what I'm saying.
And
Literally, my bad. I'm sorry. This is my first time celebrating Independence Day. This day. I ain't never celebrated. All that other shit don't count. This one right here.
That's fair. Yeah. No, it's interesting about Juneteenth too, because I always question like why out of all the other southern states, Texas took the longest, and Texas by and large had the heaviest population of Black slaves, so they were really, really like marketing so well from it that they were just like, we're gonna hold on to this a little bit longer. That's why it's recognized and born out of Galveston, Texas, because Texas just was known to just have the heaviest crop, and they just happened to have their own band of armies set up outside to where Union armies, it had a really difficult reach to just get into that state.
Yep. Texas, even then, Texas had all the guns.
Even then. Also has all the guns. Even today.
Fucked up is that you get a lot of Black churches celebrating New Year's Eve celebration days. That's also tied in with the Emancipation Proclamation. So if you ever been to a Black church and they have
I did not know that.
A New Year's Eve celebration, it was because the emancipation was supposed to take place on the 1st of January. So you actually have that.
Because when you look back at the history, they began celebrate because everybody had heard that it had been signed into law, and like you're saying, it was effective on January 1, and there were just parties in the Black community all throughout 1863. It's beautiful. So yeah, I didn't hear about the New Year's Eve ones, but that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I know the church I went to classically did that.
I did that probably 2 or 3 times, and I was like, this is the lamest New Year's party ever. This is so boring. But there's a historical reason why we're doing this. Okay. Okay. Let me go back and tell 13-year-old me, no, this means something else.
No,
I'm gonna hang out with y'all.
I would be so pissed trying to go or having to go. That church service would be like 9:30 at night, New Year's Eve. Then you gotta, and it was only fun for like the first year I went because I could stay up late, Yeah. And then thinking like, I'm gonna have a little champagne. No, it was it's sparkling cider.
I'd rather go to sleep.
Man, I ain't got no video games here. This music is trash. Y'all playing all oldies. Man, I'm out. Yeah, and y'all made me get dressed on a Thursday night.
It's 3, 2, 1. The blood of Christ.
It'd be very interesting the shit we celebrate as black believers, the interesting shit they celebrate, and the shit I used to celebrate when I used to believe. I'm like, ain't it just but a slap in the face, like how it just became so entrenched, the Christian culture as Black skin.
Yeah, it's definitely part of how we are raised. Now, before we went live, I was remiss to let everyone go on. I was like, oh no, look at that, time to start. But there's been a lot of talk of Juneteenth recently, and there's a lot of people unhappy about it. Does anyone want to talk about?
I can't imagine who.
Why would you?
Can Crimson? With all right, you only get 3 fucks this time, okay? I think choose them wisely. Now, what have people been? Yes, space them out. What have people been saying in opposition to Juneteenth?
Okay, so we have 2 camps mostly. Of the 2 camps that we have people that's yay, they did it, yay, neoliberal like identity politics. Juneteenth next year. Wait until your new Burger King cup comes. Wait until your new McDonald's Juneteenth McRib sandwich day gonna happen.
Starbucks,
man.
Starbucks got a cup cooking.
Starbucks got.
They got 3.
I'm surprised they didn't push one out real quick.
Man,
they making a cup.
Introducing our Kente Cup Tuesdays.
Man.
This man said Kente.
I mean, like, we're gonna have like episode number 2 of congressional leaders kneeling in front of the halls of Congress in Kente cloth, like you done did something. Like,
You can have a free black coffee on Juneteenth.
God. And so we have camp number 2. It's like, this all we get? We just get a holiday? That's it? So we have those 2 camps. And me being the ever magnanimous thrower, like, wait, why are you mad about this shit? They admitted that they're wrong. It's a federal holiday? Pay me what I'm owed. Give me my time. Give me my time.
Before I break my camera.
Now, of the panel here, does anyone want to add anything or say anything in opposition or agree with? Like, we can open up the floor now.
I do want to add something because I had a conversation on Twitter the other day about this. A conversation was had on a podcast with my friends about how I'm just asking the question straight up. It was asking the question of, should white people be celebrating Juneteenth in terms of having the day off, enjoying the festivities, when by all means they are the cause of us being slaves in the first place?
So, if you ask me,
Are they bringing beer and ice? That's important.
And leaving their potato salad at home.
Yeah.
Please, don't put that
Karen.
raisin shit in there.
Karen.
You better have some paprika in this bitch.
look, I'm all
Salt, pepper. I mean,
Y'all ain't got no lorries? Y'all ain't got no lorries?
They ran out.
I really don't. I say yes, because one, I don't want Juneteenth being the new like CRT. We have a lot of white allies. Like, nothing that Black people have gotten has been gotten without white allies. And I think that for we're talking about over half that had to help us in the struggle. Like, we needed over half for any major thing that we've ever gotten. And I think that they deserve to share in that triumph as well. It was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears for them as well. And we need to stop thinking about us versus them. We need to get out of there.
I agree with you, Maya.
We, America has a lot of triumphs. It has a lot of evils. We need to share them both equally, acknowledge them, and, in order to move past them. We're just not going to do it if we're being divisive and, no, this is ours. Like, you can't have this.
I say it like Fred Hampton did. Fred Hampton didn't get and push for kids all over the city of Chicago to have free breakfast by himself. He worked with so many different people.
Oh, yeah.
The fact of the matter is, when you start thinking like, I'm going to be like, no, every time Black separatists have actually tried to say, no, this is ours. No, we can do this. You get crushed. If we 13 to 15% of the population, even if it was just Black on white stuff, we would get crushed.
We ain't got the numbers.
Get by going on our allies. Always depend on our allies. I'm not saying forget the hate. I'm not saying forget, like, nobody's saying forget Tulsa. This is not to get rid of Tulsa. No, this is to say, like, yo, let's work together so this shit doesn't happen anymore.
And
every movement has allies.
Exactly. Let's work together to make sure that your kids and my kids have a fraternity, a brotherhood, a kinship, that we won't let what our grandfathers and great-grandfathers, and in some cases, our fathers and mothers actually did, ruin this shit. Because in the end, we need to stick together. I always say that racism is a tool for class oppression, and class oppression is a tool for racism. Once we start breaking that shit, where, like, it's been said, one of the biggest proponents of ending slavery, do you know Abraham Lincoln got fan mail from Karl Marx to end slavery? Karl Marx sent a letter to Abraham Lincoln, like, once you get rid of slavery, then everybody who's in the working class can actually get better.
And I think this, at least as far as it being recognized as a federal holiday, I'm not seeing a lot of downsides here. All I see is, and this might just be me thinking out loud, but it just looks like it's going to bring more attention to an issue that was previously swept under the rug.
Exactly.
And
I think I heard D.L. Hughley say it the best. Like D.L. Hughley's, like his little commentary on it this morning was the best I've seen. He said something along the lines of pretty much, have you ever ordered something from Wish and you got it and it's not the thing you ordered, but it's still something that you want? So you keep it like, okay, it's cool, but it's not what I ordered. I ordered justice, but I got a holiday. So it's not a bad thing, but it's not what we ordered. That's all.
Yeah. And
It's a start.
That's a good take.
Yeah. And I don't know that, again, being 13%, we not gonna get no sweeping change overnight by the stroke of a pen by Biden, Obama, Kamala. It's not happening. So if anyone thought that was going to happen, let me be the guy to break the bad news to you. That's not how any of this works.
Exactly.
You're not getting rid of 400 years of indoctrination and social systems and power structures being set up against you to just in 50 years, they're like, oh, it's fixed now.
Wait, you telling me that because a black president got elected, racism ended? It ended, right?
Yeah, we're in a post-racial society. I don't know if you knew that, Craig.
Was that Mitch McConnell that said that? Well, we elected Barack Obama. Like,
he didn't vote for Obama. He could shut up. He didn't help. Yeah, no part in that.
Everything did not help.
You guys got to forgive me because I reference a lot of people, but like the great Cornel West says, we don't want this same empire with the same brown faces, like with different brown faces. It's like we have to like do a change where we change the way we look at how we treat each other. Yeah. We have to look at not just like, oh yeah, great, this is a holiday, woohoo. Like, no, that's neoliberal shit. What are we gonna do substantially to help people? Like, look, now that we got Juneteenth, let's really push for Native Americans Day instead of celebrating a genocidal motherfucking maniac who, on his third voyage to the New World, had to be let off in chains.
Native American Day is Monday.
Wait, what is? I thought we were gonna like co-op Christopher Columbus Day. Christopher Columbus Day.
They already have. There is a Native Peoples Day already. Yeah. It's Monday. I didn't mean to throw a wrench in your works, but it's already a thing.
Yeah, know that. Yo, we need to bring awareness to it because I did not know that.
I didn't
But you know what?
I've never heard of that.
I didn't know it was Monday. It was one of them joints that's like on the calendar.
But there's the point there, right? There's the point. It's a lot of shit in our history that happened to Black people, Native Americans, Spanish, Japanese, Chinese, all of them that we don't know about. That I can say, and I'm sure most of us can say, in our later adult life, only just found out. I literally just the other week when, the whole lead up to the 100th year of Tulsa came into fruition. I was sitting at my mother's house with my sister, and this special came on about a documentary of it. And, the lead up was during the Trail of Tears, Native Americans did have slaves. Us did have Black slaves. And my sister sat back. She's 3 years older than me. I'm in my 30s. She sat back and was like, Native Americans had slaves? They owned us? Shocked. And that's scary.
That's why there are so many Black people say, yeah, I got Cherokee in my family because they own more slaves than pretty much anybody in America or any Native American tribe in America.
Right. Because for them, they were trying to be less oppressed to reflect, okay, the white man's doing this. So let's, try to not, feel oppressed ourselves and do what they do, basically. Yeah. And that just kept keeping us down.
And you know what's actually been very frightening? The comparison to the anti-Asian and Pacific Island law that was passed.
Yeah.
And some of these people, I get why it seems like they just got like all of a sudden they complained about a month and they get a law. The attacks haven't stopped,
Right.
and
Hmm.
whereas black folks built the eastern part of the U.S., people forget like Asian Americans had some of the same, if not worse, conditions that we had in the west part. Like we, yes, we had the compromise, but they literally made the anti, what was it, the
The
Chinese the
Exclusion Act.
Chinese Exclusion Act, where like in parts like progressive cities when the where the like what was it the plague or was it just the Spanish flu where they literally ran Asians out of the of like cities like San Francisco and stuff like that because and it's just like we got to stop this hate. We have to push for just more inclusive policies. And if somebody who is not black wants to celebrate Juneteenth with us, cool. You can celebrate, but what are you also pushing to make sure that we never have to have a day like that again?
I think that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's fair. But to be quite honest with you, my expectations on other cultures not great. I don't hold them to account for a lot of things because black people have been getting shot by the police for decades. And we've been the only ones saying it for decades. So I mean, they can do what they do, but I think it is incumbent upon us to make sure that we're taking better care of ourselves. For sure.
You're right.
That's my big fear with this. Every time we get one of these like little inches, that's when the people that were angry and engaged all of a sudden, okay, we good, we got that.
Right.
Like after George Floyd, that whole year, everybody was up in arms, and then Trump lost, and everybody's just back to the regular scheduled program.
Right.
Like that's my fear when we get these little victories.
And see, that's my thing too. It's like I get it. Like people like, and I guess it goes to where people feel like it's in your face, it's right there, and so you have to deal with it because you have to deal with it because you have to get back to living your life. You have to get back to trying to make ends meet. You have to get back to trying to make sure you okay with your family okay. But in the end, what ends up happening, the same thing that happened with blacks with the 1970s and 80s, where it was, oh, black people do drugs. Oh, black people get arrested. Oh, black people do this. And what black people were saying is the cops are over policing us. The drug policies are inherently racist.
Predatory.
We need to deal with this until we start seeing it start trickling into little Bobby in the middle of Pennsylvania.
It's an opioid crisis.
It's opioid crisis, and then it's like, oh shit, we really need to do something about it. We need to treat it as a medical thing. We need to start legalizing everything. And it's the fact is, they practice on the people who have the least amount of voice, the least amount of defense. And once they motherfucking practice that shit, then they start working on a bigger public. When you go to the other countries where you see fascists take over, they don't just start on like, oh, the big problem. They start on the little people that first they came for the socialists because I wasn't one. I didn't say nothing. And then they came for the trade unions. I wasn't one, so I didn't say nothing. Then they start coming for the Jewish people, and because I wasn't one, and when they all was finished coming for them, they came for me, and because nobody said nothing because nobody else was left.
Yeah. Blake, did you have something to add? I saw your finger was up.
Oh no, I was saying that was one of his bucks.
Oh, yep.
That's fine.
So I don't want us to just be mired in all the downtrodden shit. I also want this to be a celebration. So me and Jenna, we're thinking, and we got some questions for y'all. Y'all don't know what these questions are. They don't know what's gonna happen. So here's the deal. We're gonna go around the circle. What's your favorite thing about being black? I'll go first. Enormous. No, I'm just kidding. I had to say it before somebody said it in the chat. I got you first, sons of bitches. I would have to say, come on, Crown Neck. I'm pulling for you, Crown Neck. It's got to be my hair. My hair is down to my shoulders. I could pick it out into a fro. I could slick it back. I could put it in a bun. I could do whatever I want with my hair. As soon as that Crown Neck comes through, it's lock time. I'm gonna be right there with Crimson, looking all cool. All right, Jenna, you're up.
Young skin.
Yo, you ain't never lied.
Black people age real well.
All of us
Good
are
one.
in our 60s, by the way.
64.
Maya.
That's a hard one. I want to say the culture, but it's like so broad. But like, we're just cool motherfuckers, you know?
That was mine.
When white people are trying to, like, even in the movies, you know, she's like, you have that cool black friend to make you look approachable, to make people want to talk to you. You know, it's like,
Not to make you approachable.
but no, I really do. I love, I mean, you know, you have people say Americans don't have cultures, and we do. We're kind of an empire. So when you think about the culture, you really have to think regional, you know, because, you know, California and the West, they have their own culture. The South has its own culture. The Northeast, it has its own culture. So when you stop thinking about America, like, culture doesn't recognize your fake ass boundaries, right? Like, oh, we put a border here. That's where the culture stops. Like, no.
Gotta change your accent. You're over the borderline.
You know, the culture is where the people are. So yeah, America definitely has a culture, but like Black people has a culture that permeates all that shit. You know, yeah, there's a culture in New York and a culture in LA, but like the Black culture is really similar. Like, we have a bond within us that seems to permeate all of that. I think it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Blatheist.
She kind of took mine.
That's why I went first.
I think smart man. I love that pretty much like everything starts with us. Like, you can trace back damn near everything to us. Not even going into we're the original man type thing, but everything can be traced back to us. Like, recently, I just found out that like the bean and rice combo that you find, like Mexico's famous for their rice and all that, that's from Africa. I just found this out, and like the more layers you peel back, you eventually end up somewhere in the homeland.
How come we ain't known for that?
Permeate everything.
How we land on fried chicken and watermelon when everybody eats fried chicken and watermelon?
Wait. Now, first of all, that's ironic because I'm cooking some rice because I got some red beans cooking. But I'm just saying,
it's meant to be.
I thought you was gonna say fried chicken and watermelon. I was like, damn it, Crimson.
But you know what? The thing about it is, we were ashamed to make watermelons ours. People were actually making a lot of money off of selling watermelons, but we was actually shamed about it. It's just like, damn.
No shame in my game. Seedless or seeded, give it to me. And I'm bringing some tahini. You know, for the you got to sprinkle a little. See, stepped it up, Mexican brothers. Thank you, I appreciate y'all for that. Tahini is a great invention.
At least it's not a square watermelon, huh?
Yeah, like in Japan, they took that shit to a new level. I was like, oh shit, they got stackable watermelons. Oh shit, and changed the game forever. Perfect slice every time. You don't have to have the big ass kitchen knife you don't even got the knife block it came from no more. Right. That motherfucker's a damn machete in the kitchen. It's got the black handle. It's a little burnt on one edge because it got too close to the stove that one time. And then it's hit that big ass. Bro. Everybody
Yo,
got
why
that
is
knife.
this so accurate?
It seems real close to home.
You got to use a paper towel when you cut with that one, or else a little edge will get you on your hand.
Shoot.
All right, Crimson, what's your favorite
that
thing about
hurt.
being black?
I have to say, I like the adoption of different cultures that we have. Like, yes, we actually have so many things that were spawned from us, but when we actually look at some of the things, like just how we've adapted to like being dealing with being on the bottom rungs of society, and we've adapted so many different things, be it from music, now even like the whole adaptation of black people to anime and how that's actually influenced a lot of different things. Like you wouldn't have the Afro Samurai if you wasn't having that black folks like kung fu movies in the 70s.
Man,
That
what?
we-
All right, time out. Side question. Why the hell do black people love kung fu movies so much? I love them, and I don't know why.
Because they were
Because
cheap
we like to
watch.
see the little guy win. It's like we like to see the undertrodden, the little guy win, and that's every kung fu movie.
Man, he
Yeah.
walk into the
You've
dojo.
never seen the rich guy.
He walk into the dojo, beat up 345 people. I likes that shit.
But yeah, I love the adaptation of our culture because we had to adapt. Be it any other like when you on top, when you ain't feeling the struggle, you don't have to adapt to shit. Shit adapts around you. But when you actually have to, like, it's one of those things. It's one of those things, and just to relate it back to just even outside groups, if you actually seen like in early times where you see like even Jewish people that were like outstanding comics, because that's how some of the oppressions they had to deal with. And with black folks, we took the scraps of so much shit of they told you can't do this. You had to only do, and we say, okay, we take the scraps, but watch this shit.
Mhm.
Nada isn't black my ass.
Mr. Delvin Cox, what's your favorite thing about being black?
To me, it's the diversity. The fact that there's so much different levels of blackness in everybody in our culture, in terms of how you can have somebody like a Candace Owens, whether you like her or not, she's still black.
Wait,
On the
didn't we
other
kick
side,
her
you can
out?
I
have-
was hoping we wouldn't talk about her
Can we
today.
vote? Can we vote? Wait.
Wait.
I
Were you not at the last meeting?
I almost said we could turn this into, like, we could add a bonus segment. We could have the racial draft of 2021.
I mean, I got another candidate for the Candace Owens camp.
So we have consensus. We have consensus.
Yeah,
Let
yeah.
her out.
We have
Mhm.
consensus.
All right.
Thank
All
you.
right, so after we do the questions, we hold the 2021 racial draft will be happening tonight. All you in-betweens will be voted on.
But I appreciate that there's so many different levels of black people in general. Like you can have a Kodak Black and a Jay-Z. You can have people who are not that. You can have a me. You can have, there's just so many different levels of black when they all fit into this. They don't fit in this one box. We're just so diverse as a people, and it's just awesome that we are. And we all are cool. That's another aspect of it. Every level of black people are cool. Like even it's the old cat that he walking down the street who got that swagger with his walk.
Boy, let me tell you, old black dude, the coolest dude you ever seen in your life.
We ain't.
He don't even sweat unless he got a handkerchief.
It's both cool and a little embarrassing at the same time, especially if it's family.
And then when he just do the blot, he do this joint. He don't wipe it off.
Dang.
Gotta let it absorb. It was warm.
No, I was just thinking of that. What both Crimson and Mr. Cox just said. Like whatever we have adapted to, however diverse we become, everything we adapt to, we make it cooler.
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Oh, I want to do that."
Then vanilla
Kim
ice.
Kardashian got braids. Oh, I want to do that.
Like, girl, if you don't get out here with them trash box braids that everybody, you look like a 7th grader.
Dang.
Just
Ain't
got out.
embrace like that. Get out.
Just got out the pool. You know you ain't washed the chlorine out of them. All right, Bars. What's your favorite thing about being black?
So, my favorite thing about being black, I would have to say, is the strength. Like when I think about black people, I just think about them some strong motherfuckers. Like everybody wants to be like that. Everybody wants to have some form of like what we do, our style, the way we walk, the way we talk. You know, they literally, like what y'all say, they adopting this shit. And it's like you sit back and you're like, damn, like these people have been through unimaginable shit. And it's like we still going. I just said this in my video, like we're still here and we're still pushing it. Like they whatever they tried to do to break us didn't work. Like the look at this. We got freaking a group of black. This not even supposed to happen. We supposed to be still indoctrinated. That didn't work. They not stopping shit. They didn't break us. We're strong. And when I think about being black, I just think about that strength. You know, if they could do that, if they could get through that and manage that and make it past that, what can't I do? You know what I'm saying? Like I look at my ancestors like, what can't I do? Like, you know, I'm trying to conquer the fucking world and chase dreams and crush goals. And then, you know, like if it's a day where I feel like I can't do it, I just think about, you know, well, the people before me had it worse. They had to go through worse and they did more with less. So I can do this shit. I can get up every fucking day. I can, you know, go to bed at the right time so I can get up and be productive the next day. I can plan ahead and, you know, set big goals and attain those big goals because of the strength that comes from behind me. Off, you know, I could do it off just the muscle, just the strength of them. I could do it. So it's like when I think about people, I'm just like, man, it's the strength, man. These motherfuckers are strong, and I'll just be proud to be associated with like this group of, you know what I'm saying, like amazing people. Like a lot of the shit, the big shit that doesn't happen in this country is it's something got to do. It's something about us. All the big moves, everything that's, you know, we done that. What aren't we good at? What can't we do? That's all I think about. Like, what don't we do? Only sport
we've been to space, played tennis,
you know, we can
play golf.
We create the culture.
Right.
What don't we do? What can't we do? I want to answer. What can't we do? Well, we don't play hockey.
No, we got some hockey players.
I'm trying to see like.
No, I agree with you. I mean, because I remember, again, I didn't hear about Tulsa in school. I didn't hear about Juneteenth in school.
Me neither.
Me neither.
I was like, wait, no, I have to look into this. What do you mean there were like successful Black people in the 1920s? And it happened in 1920. So like there were successful Black people before that. And in like 60 years that, you know, they were like, no, you know, you guys go over there, do your own thing. And we like fucking did it. Like we were doing cartwheels around white people who took longer to get to that point, you know?
Yeah. And because of their outlook and jealousy, they're trying to adapt what we had brought up at that time. That's why it was all taken down.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it really amazes me, especially talking to a lot of racists on Twitter these days.
You better than me.
You know, I'm a psych major, so like I really like when there's something that is like contrary to like reasoning to me. I need to understand it. Like why would you think that Black people are just inherently bad? Like people are people. Like why would Black people be like bad people? Like, I really want to understand that. And I understand they're taught to think it, but I don't know. Like in my head, it's like it's got to make more sense than none. But like this whole week, past couple of days at least, there's been a lot of white people trying to figure out like why Black people want to take Independence Day away from them. And I'm like, why would you think that?
So
like,
I'm not a psych major, but I just see people, and maybe this is just my intuition, but a lot of people don't want to feel like they're normal. They want to feel like they are at least better than somebody else. Now, maybe this is the whole like, maybe we should get rid of hierarchies type person I am, but I feel every human being is unique. Every human being is unique. But a lot of people can't let go of the whole idea of I'm more special than you.
Yeah.
And like I was actually having a conversation with somebody, and this actually ties into the non-beliefs. I literally had a conversation with someone and we were going back and forth. I was like, don't you think it's a little bit self-centered? Don't you think it's a little bit, and I didn't use the word narcissistic because I was trying to have a productive conversation.
Yeah.
But that you think so important of yourself that the master of the universe, something so large that if we travel at the speed of light, we couldn't reach faraway galaxies, cares enough about you to change his divine plan to fit around your wants.
But I really need to find my keys. I'm gonna be late for work.
There it is.
I've been late the last 5 times.
Right.
Yo, my spare key is clutch. Man, I'm staying on that spare key.
Man. but no, like, and God just directed me to look in the last place I looked. Like, of course it would be the last place you looked. Of course. If you keep looking after you find something, then it's something fucking wrong with you. Damn, that's two.
See?
We early in this. And we made an hour.
Yeah, this religion stuff is sick business, man. Like, there's no way we can't talk about it in my opinion. I don't see no positive light to, like, how do we? I just can't see this. I can't look at religion like it's some good to it, or it can be a good, like it all, because at the end of the day, like what you saying, Crimson, you have to be self-centered, closed-minded, not look at me. I can't find my keys. I've been looking for 2 weeks, but you found yours. So don't worry about what I did. You know, God ain't helped me find mine, but he helped you find yours. You have to, like, literally walk and talk like this, like you only look at yourself. And it's like,
have you seen me?
Like, even if a church gave some backpacks out, okay, they not even doing it because they literally doing it to get something in return. They want a reward. They want a final destination where they get to sit at the throne and kiss feet and shit. That's what they want. They're not doing it because the kids need backpacks. They doing it because God told them to. So even the good parts, I can't rock with it. I just can't. I don't even.
Let's get Meyer down on that.
Yeah. My bad. He said about the keys, and I'm like, man, the keys, man, the keys.
Well, I mean,
I opened the lock.
If you insist on talking about religion, I think the bigger point is how they're using the religion to hide their bigotry or to justify their bigotry, which has been going on for centuries. Yes. And it's a hard battle. Like, probably our biggest battle is because, like, the people who are saying all this shit about, the, not wanting the holiday, lying about CRT, whitewashing their textbooks, making it illegal to teach.
What is CRT? There's a couple of international people that may not know what that means.
Okay, well, there's what it is. There's what they think. Critical race theory it's economic and political. It's taught in colleges in America, at least, about social injustices in policy and law. Just acknowledging that there are systemic factors that are keeping people of color, I don't want to say in their place, but like in a place that they think is ours.
Disadvantaged.
Yeah. So but it's being like, no, a lot of people, like, I had heard of it, but like I didn't even really look into it until recently, because people were saying, oh, like, it's just they want us to teach our children to hate themselves, and I'm like, that can't possibly be what that is.
So,
But they're trying to approach it in the sense that it's being taught to young kids. This is nothing that's taught
No,
to anyone,
it can't
not
be.
even at a high school level. It's
Mm-mm.
mainly taught in if you're going through a program for law or
Yeah.
criminal justice, something like that.
College
Graduate
level.
level.
So-
Graduate level even, yeah.
so my understanding of it, and this is maybe my horrible autodidactic understanding of it, because when you're autodidactic, you have to make sure that neither the teacher or the student is a fool. But it's a critical examination of theory with a racial component to it.
Mhm.
As everybody has said, it is nowhere near being taught in school.
Mm-mm.
Nowhere near, because it's actually like a upper sociological course. But what people who are against it are saying is, don't teach history.
Right. And that's the way it's being used, to the point where now, if someone were to have a question, a child were to have a question about something, a teacher would have to say, oh, you should ask your parent, and you should, like, they can't even approach it without, in fear of losing their job or perhaps even going to jail if some of these laws go through as is. It's insane.
I think that's kind of one of the benefits of a Juneteenth federal holiday, is because that kind of pulls at least one aspect out from behind that shroud that it was currently. So now Juneteenth is a thing. It's officially a thing now. You're gonna have to learn what it is now, right?
Well, with these laws, they're not allowed to teach it.
But but if they see Juneteenth is coming up, then they can, let me Google Juneteenth real quick.
Yeah, I know, but that would be what is taught. You should Google Juneteenth, or you should look it up. We don't have time for that today.
Yeah.
And it puts it back to the same thing, like when all of us were being taught about Christopher Columbus. It's like, oh no, he's a hero. He's a national hero. That's why we have a day. Moving on.
I don't know how he got a day.
Because they've been lying to us our whole lives, essentially, about things.
I know how he got a day.
James Brown didn't even get a day.
So what happened was, because so many Italian Americans were being so oppressed, what happened was it was a movement in like the late 1800s, early 1900s to try to memorialize him as a hero, which obviously he wasn't. So they pushed for him to have a day, and he got a date.
All right.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Very familiar.
So fucked up.
They seen Matt. Give him a holiday.
The next thing on the chopping block was what does Black dysphoria mean to you, and is this something you personally have experienced?
I might have to look that up. What is Black dysphoria?
I literally was reaching for my.
That was, I will admit, that was like more of a my question type deal where I had somehow identified. I guess I'll just go first.
There you go. You go. Get in there, Jenna. Get your hands dirty.
Basically, if you've, I termed it Black dysphoria. It's not actually a thing, but there is a thing called cultural dysphoria, where there is a bit of a dissonance one experiences where the stereotypical culture of what it means to be Black, you don't yourself identify as such. So, I mean, majority of us here are atheists, right? So the dysphoria in that of itself is via the Black culture, since it's so entrenched with Christianity or that belief in a God, you experience that out-of-bodiness of not relating to what you should universally be as part of that culture, but you are separate from that. So for me, I think I experienced, or still am kind of experiencing, this bit of takeaway from what I felt was Black culture, because typical stereotype is not only chicken and watermelon, but I listen to rap and hip hop, or I dress this way, or I'm really loud, I have slang, things like that. But my nickname from like kindergarten up until like college was, I was called an Oreo, because I did not reflect what a loud, chicken eating, rap music listening Black person represented. I was complete opposite of that, or what they felt would be the
you eat chicken. I know you eat chicken.
I do.
You are not the complete
but I'm
opposite. How dare you lie on my platform? How dare you? I know you don't have like a grilled chicken Caesar salad at least once in your life. It may not have been fried, but it was chicken.
It was chicken. I retract my statement. But that's what I meant by that. So that's what it meant from that question.
I'll go first, so then nobody can steal my answer. I've been a guitarist since I was 13. I started playing guitar at 13, and I love rock. I love metal. I love punk. Don't tell your black friends that, because you're one of them goofy white boys.
Mhm.
You are a goofy white boy instantly. And I kind of dislike that about our culture. Is sometimes we don't, like, we're always so glad when someone is the first at something. So as soon as somebody starts doing something that's not down the beaten path, instead of saying, "Oh, he gonna be the first," it's like, man, if you don't put that goofy ass, screaming ass music down, and then, you know what I'm saying, we kind of shut each other down. So that's, if I'm answering the question correctly, my love of metal music, and I was in a metal band, do screaming vocals, play guitar, headbang, grew my hair out, the whole thing. But there was not a lot of support. There was one other black dude. He's deceased now, but he was right in the middle of the stage, in the front, clapping, headbanging, fist pump, the whole thing, and he made sure that I saw him the whole show. So salute to the homie.
Are we still going in a circle?
I think so.
I was thirsty.
Okay. I had kind of a weird, like, I've always just accepted my blackness. Other black people, I think I may have given them dysphoria because I've always sounded like this. And you don't sound black, therefore you're white. And I never got Oreo. They just went straight to white girl.
What do you mean I don't sound black?
You know, and for me, it was just so fucking absurd. I wouldn't even, I was always fighting to be black just based on my voice, which, I don't know, it pisses me off right now. It wasn't anything that I did or, you know, it was just my voice. So I'm like, well, I can't change my voice, and you don't have a problem with the way I act, so it sounds like a problem for you. Like, I'm right. You don't have to talk to me. I swear. I'll only think more highly of you if you're not like actually opening your mouth and words are coming out at me. But as I got older, I really started thinking about it, like more towards education, because it's kind of a self-hating ideology that if you're not, you know, if you are doing well in school, you're not black. If you're trying to do anything at all really to better yourself, it kind of comes out, you know, you hear this from somebody. And while there are, I mean, and so that was me in Illinois. Me in Baltimore, there's actually like different crowds. You know, you have the stereotypical black people. You have the middle class, affluent. You have the rich black people. You know, we're very much like white people in that aspect, where you get the gamut. When black people are allowed to thrive, we do. And white people here aren't as racist because, you know, when you're around a bunch of black people, you get to see the different, that we're different. And the black people, it stops the stereotypes from coming from the black people as well. My parents moved to Arizona, where it's almost backward, where they're, you know, they say that you can tell a black person that is from Arizona versus people who migrated, you know, from, most of them are California, but anywhere else in the country. Black people that travel, we act differently. And it's not, and it's almost like you're kind of, for the people that are indigenous, I'll say that both for Arizona and for Illinois, and this is the only two places I can really relate this to. You kind of get into the self-defeatist kind of mentality, where you think, oh, this is all I can be. And I can kind of understand that to a point where, you know, if that's all you see, but if it's not, I don't know. I never had the dysphoria. I had kind of, what I've kept is my kind of contempt for mankind for putting me and themselves in the position to have to explain this.
Explain yourself.
Mhm.
Explain me.
I'm just a girl. My mom is black. My dad is black. Why are we having this conversation? It's asinine.
There you
Atheist.
I wouldn't say I experience now, but I definitely had that like weird fear, like in high school when I was still trying my best to be cool with with the people that I was around 24/7. So I would like have my little iPod and like I would have to have a rap song on last as if I was watching Skinemax or something. And somebody's coming downstairs. You gotta
Oh, you gotta have it on the TV Guide channel, and then you go to it so you can hit
You put it on
recall.
Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
No, you go to Cartoon
You hit
Network and
recall.
then you go to Skinemax and you hit Flash real quick.
Yeah.
So I will be sitting like in class and like have headphones. I walk a lonely road. And then somebody come in and
You spoke to me. You spoke to me just like that.
What you know about that? What you know about? I'm one of y'all. We got this. Like,
I go hard
So,
in the
I mean-
motherfucking paint.
gotta have it. I mean, like I'm at the point now, or I've gotten to it like previously, so I've been working up towards this, getting more in tune with just being me, because it doesn't really matter what I do. I'm black. Not something I can or want to change, so it doesn't
That's it.
affect me at this point in life.
Crimson.
All right. So
Getting a lot of hiss from you for some reason.
is that better?
There we go. Whoa, there he is. Hey.
All right. Great. So I have to say that for me, and this is the weirdest fucking thing. This is the weirdest.
Now you
Dang. You didn't even usefully use that. Like,
wasted it.
just wasted.
Wasted it.
So I actually grew up in Auburn Gresham in Chicago. And so my parents were actually a little bit more well off than my neighborhood. Not much, but we actually had the internet in my house as an early adapter in the 90s.
Elitist.
Again, I grew up in Auburn Gresham. And so I was able to actually interact and communicate with people across the globe, and like it. I face this dysphoria right now because I literally have a job as a call center representative, and I do not talk like this when I'm on a phone call.
Pardon the intrusion.
Good morning. This is Crimson. Thank you for calling Company X. How are you doing today?
Oh, you got to put on your white voice, man. You're gonna get more calls that way.
Oh, shit.
But yeah,
I love that movie.
Man. I was telling somebody today, like, it's certain movies that like tell too much truth. That movie. Another movie was Falling Down with Michael Douglas in the 90s. Oh God.
Ooh,
But
I love that movie.
But yeah, one of the things that it's just like I don't see much of it, but I'm starting to see a few because I have a friend who also goes to conventions. But like, you never see a lot of black people doing anime artist tables at convention.
Yeah.
Like, one of the biggest things that I grew up with is like, yo, I like anime. And this wasn't cool in the 90s. This wasn't cool in the early 90s. You either like regular
Wasn't cool in the
comics-
early 2000s. Trust me.
Man.
No, and there was only one that you were allowed to watch, and what was it? Go ahead, Blatant. You already know what it is.
Dragon Ball Z.
That was Dragon
There you
Ball
go.
Z was the only one.
That was
you
it.
could root for Goku and Goku only.
Mhm.
No, I still like
Naruto.
Vegeta was better. But you know, here in Chicago, they had like Japanimation and like on like Saturday nights at about 11:30 on channel 62 that you get to watch.
62 WCTJ or some crazy shit.
I was like, yeah.
Oh my
And
God.
sometimes they had the anime titties on there too. So
That's when I saw Akira for the first time.
Man, I saw Doom Metropolis, but you couldn't actually do that or say that you enjoyed that as somebody growing up in the hood like that. Even like video game systems, I actually had some of the newer video game systems closer to when they came out. So, yeah,
you and the
my father was a plumber for Chicago.
Oh,
That's how. Yeah, it wasn't much better than everybody else, but it was a plumber for the city of Chicago.
Oh, you got a city job? Oh yeah, he good. Yeah, he good. That's a good job. I'm sorry, Crimson. I'm just
Better get you that man with that good job.
Delvin.
It was kind of interesting growing up in Miami because if you know about Miami, Miami's like the capital of booty-based music and trick daddy dollars and stuff like that. And I kind of looked at like the intelligent hoodlum in terms of like, I used to listen to stuff like Nas, Rakim, around the time when people didn't listen to that. This is before Rick Ross, so people wasn't on that type of stuff. So they was like, "Oh, you listen to that smart hip hop and why you
that nerd stuff?"
Yeah, and I'm like, Nas. What are you talking about? It's Nas and Jay-Z. And so it was kind of like weird growing up in that type of atmosphere where I never really like that. Nobody never really questioned my. The funny thing about it is, black people never question my blackness. The people who always question my blackness were white and Hispanic people. Which is wild. They were always the ones like, well, you don't talk like you're from the hood. Like, no, I grew up in the hood. I don't have to talk like that, but I grew up in Liberty City. And anybody knows Liberty City.
You haven't heard the new T.I.? I'm blacker than you. Come on.
Yeah, I've heard that multiple times. Like, I look at them like they lost their damn mind.
Hey,
like,
Delvin, let me slide you this cassette. It's a brother called Uncle Luke. You'll really enjoy it.
Oh, hell.
But it's always fascinating how they perceive what my blackness is supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
And then me, like Crimson just said, I watch anime. I grew up watching cartoons and stuff like that. I like Jimi Hendrix. I love hip hop. I listen to all types of hip hop. I don't listen to the crazy. I listen to like Talib and Nas and Nas Effects. That's stuff I grew up on. So when they don't see me blasting 2 Live Crew in my car, they get this kind of weird stereotype. Like, well, you must not be from around here. And like, I don't have the long hair, the long dreads, man. Because that's the thing in Miami, where everybody has the long hair and the dreads and stuff, and they wear the white beater shirts and stuff, and they don't see me being like that. They automatically assume, well, you're not black. You must be like, I've got this a lot. You must be Dominican or part Cuban or something like that. I'm like, no, this is just who I am.
Yeah.
All right, Bars.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I don't know if my.
You were fucking with your mic the entire time without it muted, so we heard all of that. Thank you so much, by the way.
No.
He was body slamming that mic. He was like, he took the elbow pad off.
Man, my bad, man. I was trying to. Can you hear me now though? Is it clear?
Good. Yeah, you're good.
Okay. So are we still talking about the dysphoria, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I have a couple, like 3 things about. Okay, so the first thing with this is, I used to play with. I don't know if y'all, it's like wrestling men, like action figures. The wrestling men, Johnson. I had like. What'd you say?
I had them. I like the old wrestling.
So I used to collect them. I used to have like 40. I'm talking about like the backpack was so heavy because I had everybody, and I had the breakaway ring that like when you slam too hard in the middle, it breaks away.
Oh my God, I remember that.
Yeah. And I had the titles, the titles, the mics. I had the tables, and I would take all of this, go outside on my porch in the middle of like South Memphis. I'm talking about just gunshots and gangbangers right next door to me. And everybody was like, bro, like, what are you doing? And I'm like,
it's time for the Royal Rumble.
no, listen. I would download the entrance music on my phone. I'm big dog. I would download the entrance music on my phone, and like, I was so good at it. It's like it looked like real life when I was doing it. Like you could record my hands, like it's like real life. And like, man, everybody, because ain't no upstairs, downstairs. It's flat. Every apartment that goes around is like you come outside, you see everybody porch. So, man, everybody would come outside. It's like, are you supposed to be hooping? Or you supposed to be, what are you doing? I'm like, bro, I don't know. This is what I like to do.
Are you playing with John Cena, sir?
And like you hear me? Like they couldn't understand. Like I would just collect them and buy them and save up my money. Oh man, I had like $100 of those things. It's probably, but
you still got them?
Nah, no, hear me out. I did a good thing. So once I stopped playing with them, my little buddies that were younger than me that I played with them, I raised a couple of, wrestling heads, and my younger cousins, I gave them to them and let them keep them, and they still got them. But
well, that's cool.
All right, that's cool then.
And then like,
man, you just told my life story. That's crazy,
man.
I thought you were like, garage sale, $2 for the whole bag.
Oh my god, man! like I couldn't, and then man, it was just they just couldn't see. They like, and the trip part was like in the hood, like I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. I don't know. Couldn't nobody beat me up. Like I'm dead serious. Like they literally, I couldn't be beat. When I first moved over there, they tried their luck. It didn't work. Couldn't nobody beat me up. And yet they couldn't understand like, how you this tough dude that can move mountains, but you playing with, what I'm saying? And that's what I like to do. But you better not try me though. They just couldn't get over the wrestling man thing. And then I did when I got in high school, man, oh my God. When I got in high school, y'all, like I had a little more freedom with my wardrobe. And I'm like, if you ever seen Power, I'm like Ghost. I do not like wearing regular clothes. I like to wear me a button down. I'm like Batman running around that joint. And like every day of school, I got the shirts. Oh, I can't feel it no more, but every day of school, I had my button down Hollister shirts with the shirt tucked in, with the belt on, with the.
He knew he was killing.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
They didn't know what to do.
Killing it.
What they gonna do? What they gonna do?
Like I want to beat you up so bad.
Like, who is
How
this
do I
dude?
approach this guy?
I did too much of that in grammar school because I went to a Christian academy. I was like, nah, I'm never wearing a button up ever again.
But I don't know what is it. It just I liked it to dress up. It made me feel like I was like a president or something. You know what I'm saying? I get in the class, everybody they got their J's on, they got their cargo shorts, and look at me. When I walk, it's like I'm tapped. That you hear the little tap on the back of my.
He said, "I'm coming in the algebra."
Man, I was so smooth, man.
Wow.
Man, I was so smooth. It get worse than that though. It get worse than that. My one of my judo coaches, he gave me one of those little. It's not a briefcase. It's softer than a briefcase, but it's like
a leather case.
Oh yeah, he gave me the one that you hold.
No,
oh yeah,
and you rock that joint throughout high school.
Yeah.
I need pictures. I'm sorry. I need pictures.
My boy,
I was smooth, man.
My man coming in like a young Dennis Hayes. Like, yeah.
They thought I was weird, but when they came up to talk to me, like, man, he sound like us. And he cool like us, but he don't, you know what I'm saying? He don't I didn't get down with like everybody will get their new pair of Air Force Ones and the new J that come, man. Take me up here to H&M and Hollister. Let me give me up.
I want an Air Force One bad. We just didn't have it. I wanted them so bad. Oh, I
hated those shoes.
I wanted some white on white ones so bad.
Did you hate Air Forces?
I put my money and my motherfucking like begging towards. Come on, give me that PlayStation. Mom, Dad, run me that PlayStation. Run me them video games.
See, here's the thing with me. Like, I was a conformist to the utmost degree because I want to look like y'all. I want to sound like y'all so we can be copacetic. But when I go home, I'm about to put on Green Day. I'm about to play my WWF game at the time.
Oh, N64? That was
close the blinds. Like you would think I was doing something illegal. I'm closing the blinds, shutting off the windows, checking to see if anybody there. Okay. Now I can be me, Spider-Man time.
Yeah, man.
I don't know how desperate I was to try and get my mother to purchase a My Chemical Romance album.
Oh, yeah.
And, obviously she didn't because she looked at that thing and was like,
Three
no.
Cheers for Sweet Revenge.
And, tapes still exist. So I had good friends that let me borrow the CD and I recorded with my little stereo and hit record with the video with the tape recorder.
She was over there breaking breaking copyright laws just so she can sing about Helena. It's like, but I'm not okay, Mom. I need the CD.
Yo,
I need the CD.
Might as well just bust out the VCR.
Oh,
good one.
This has been a lovely little jaunt down memory lane. And I'm going straight to Amazon to buy a My Chemical Romance poster and a pair of Air Force Ones. So for a crunching gear change, what are your thoughts on Africa now compared to your thoughts as a child? And we don't have to keep going around the circle. Whoever wants to answer can answer, and then we'll just kind of back and forth.
I'll go. So my biggest thing about Africa now is like, when I was a kid, I just thought it was some far away land. It just like, you hear bad stories about what's going on with it. Especially now because I kind of paid attention to the news because I was a fucking nerd. When I was a kid. But like nowadays, like the exploitation hasn't stopped, and I take a look at a little bit more of a political lens in it. I don't like the Belt and Road Initiative that's going on with China right now, because it's just another exploitative thing. Although China isn't doing it as bad as the U.S. wants to do the exploits in like now, but like they're at least trying to signal that it's more or less all sticks and mostly carrots, but the U.S. want to come in with all sticks, and I'm not okay with that. I wish that I'm not even gonna ask for reparations. The shit that happened with Africa. Just leave them alone and stop trying to fucking just like oppress people to get things like lithium mines or things of that nature. And since we're talking about big companies and people exploiting Africans, Elon Musk should burn in hell. But that's just me.
I don't know if it's just you, but
I feel like it's definitely not just you.
Nah. So growing up, it still is my favorite. My favorite Disney movie was The Lion King, and so I don't know, but it's just my idea of Africa. Listen to me. My idea of Africa growing up, I always thought it was like just paradise. Yes, paradise everywhere. The birds flying, and the circle of life, and the pride land. Yeah,
talking hippopotamus
in the jungle.
Timon and Pumbaa's running around all over the place.
Yeah. I really grew up thinking it was paradise. Like
always up to something.
And then as I got older, and
it's Wakanda now.
Yeah.
As I think we just have to do this for the screenshot. I think we all got to just do it for the screenshot. Just for the screenshot. There it is. All right, tell somebody to clip that. Thank you, sir.
There you go.
But she said like Wakanda. But yeah, now I'm just like, damn, it's not what I grew up thinking it was. I literally thought it was paradise over there. Like, they was always talking about we need to go back home and all that. I'm like, shit, I'm ready for the waterfalls and the pineapple, like they bring out the tray of pineapples everywhere, just giraffes eating out your hand. And yeah, I thought it was
Oh, you talking
The
about
giraffe eating out his hand.
You talking about the San Diego Zoo? What is it?
I thought it was Paradise Hotel. Like the
No,
last
I mean,
one-
I can't agree with that because it sounds like I'm about a decade older than you. But back then, it was Coming to America. My
Exactly.
parents had the audacity to tell me,
Yeah.
"Oh no, there's really African nations like that." I was like, "Holy shit, why aren't we over there?"
Exactly. That's funny.
So hold up. Y'all trying to tell me Zamunda is not real?
I know.
Cut the mic. Cut the mic. Cut the mic.
Yo, hey, it was like when Black Panther
Secret.
came out, when people were talking about Wakanda, there was so many black people I saw online, like literally finding out for the first time that Zamunda is just like Wakanda. It's not real.
Nah, man,
But this was
Zamunda.
a thing.
Nah, Zamunda right down the street from Botswana. I got a cousin that's
You know, Lil Anthony and them. Lil Anthony from Zamunda, his uncle. You know Lil Anthony and them.
Yo, like for real, like, and I guess this is some nerd history shit, but like I really would give it to motherfucking Stan Lee with that shit. They was like, well, he's from an African nation. We want to make him black, and like, but we don't know what to do. Stan Lee was like, make him black, but it's the Black Panther and like the Black Panther Party. So people like make him black and get the fuck off of my page because we gonna make this like Stan Lee was like, we don't care. Like we gonna make some racists mad. Good.
Yeah, and that was like early issues.
Right.
I think he was in like
Fantastic Four.
Yeah, and he had like a
Fighting the
secret,
Klan.
Yeah, he was whooping the Klan members' ass.
Yeah, I have that issue.
See,
No,
Delvin,
yeah, I
knew
couldn't
you was
believe they
cool.
made that
What?
movie. I was like, that is ballsy, Marvel, but good on you.
I think Stan Lee was like the ultimate like ally because he was like, wait, you mad? He's like, we have comics of punching Nazis. Like, you mad? Like, of course we're gonna have some black people because they're people and we should make sure that we represent. Like, wait, you mad because wait, what? Stop reading my comics. Go. You're gonna get mad about this. Stop reading my comics.
Yeah,
I think my favorite thing that Stan Lee did was the X-Men because it's literally like it's a fantastic analogy for Black America.
Yep.
And so many people look at it and see these oppressed people and they're like, you know what? They deserve their rights. So I don't think that's fair. I mean, George Floyd, he did what he did, but these X-Men, come on. These guys are innocent.
I don't
They
really
just
think
wanna
the
be
government
loved.
the government shouldn't be rounding up the X-Men for sure.
Why is it up to the government what these people do? Come on. Like I always say that with culture, period. Like you look at all these things, all these movies, like you look at the districts and all of them, like the Mockingjay movies and all that crap.
Yeah.
And so many white people identify with that and like, oh my God, the oppression, it must be stopped. And then they turn on the news and be like, they're rioting again? What's their problem?
Man.
Yeah, I know that the cops keep shooting blacks, but did you really have to burn down AutoZone?
Oh no. We burned down whole cities. There are cities that used to exist that don't anymore.
That are not
Yeah.
there anymore.
Did you know Portland doesn't
Rioted.
exist anymore? You know Portland
Oh my
doesn't
God.
exist anymore.
It's
There's just
gone.
like this blank area right over there on the coast. Portland doesn't exist anymore.
It's totally smooth and gray, like it hasn't been like used yet in like on a video game like SimCity. It just hasn't been processed yet. Wiped from the face of the earth.
Somebody has made a glass floor. This glass just gone.
Like the Covenant. I always thought, well, the first things I would always see, watching TV about Africa was like, yeah, the Lion King. But then it would always be like the starving kids. Oh, the starving kids.
You
And
took
it's
mine.
terrible. Oh, go ahead, Jim. You go ahead.
No. That
you
was
go
it. That was it.
And it was just like, yo, it's terrible there because my mom, when I was hell, I must have been like 6th grade, 5th grade, something like that. She almost did a mission trip with hospitals over in Ghana, and I was boo-hooing because I didn't want to go to Africa. I don't want to go. I just made all these friends. You trying to move me out the country? Like I was devastated. I was so mad. We ended up not going. But looking back on it, man, I should have took my little ass over there. I'd have been Man, what y'all eating over here? What the fuck?
It's funny.
Y'all got drums and shit. Oh, it is.
It's funny whenever somebody mentions starving kids in Africa, I think about that scene in Hell's in a Bridge where Hell's is talking to God. He's like, "Oh, what is it? Who was it, Yahweh? What were your fingerprints? Was it the handprints? Was it knee prints?" He's like, "Everything is part of a plan." Oh, what's part of the plan? Is it killing any kid and name any starving African nation? If so, killer plan. I was like, damn, they are really laying into this shit thick.
But that was me, like prepubescent little Mikey. Now I'm just like, how do I get over there? Because now I have to see, because you get so much bad information in a lifetime. So now I'm just like, I need to go and see for myself. I need to go see for myself.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a lot of people that, like in Baltimore, almost everybody in the healthcare industry is from like Africa or Jamaica. Let's say almost everybody, 50% at least. And they come here, like they'll go over there and they'll get educated and they'll come over here to work because they all say there's not a lot of jobs. But I mean, it's insane over there, like the culture and I don't know, their traditions. A lot of them are really I don't know, it's different, but it's beautiful. Like one of my workers went over there because like they were doing this thing for her mom, but it was like a Mother's Day weekend where they had like, I mean, it was like a wedding party just to celebrate her mom. It was insane. I'm like, why aren't you, like, she's showing me like her sister and her nieces and nephews and cousins, and like everybody comes out and, you know, I don't know, it was insane. I had never seen anything like that. And I'm like, I got these two ungrateful little brats just like sucking up air that they don't pay for. I'm like, I had to tell them, I'm like, Mother's Day is coming up, you ungrateful bitches, worship me. Now, this chick is getting the whole weekend.
And I think that's definitely something that, speaking, like you were talking about culture earlier, being descendants of slaves, a lot of that is lost, right? Like we're missing that chunk of our identities, which is our cultural and ethnic heritage. So, man, I wish they were really just, you know, it's Juneteenth. So if you're out there, Black ancestry, y'all want to drop that price down a little bit, you know, get some discount, just some discount codes, because $300 is a lot. And
is it $300?
For the legit.
I did not know that.
The only reason why I won't do the
$300
shit.com is because once they get your DNA, they can actually motherfucking market that shit. Not conspiracy, like no, it's in the terms. It's in the TOS that they can actually use your DNA code as part of a proprietary information.
Yeah, anything they want to do is theirs now. Or they caught that one guy, that murderer. I can't remember the details, but yeah, they actually caught a murderer because all of his relatives, or at least enough, had contributed. Yeah, and then they were able, with that information, they were able to whittle it down to him because he was like one of the suspects in that case.
I would be mad as hell.
That's why Crimson like, nah, I ain't doing that. Y'all ain't catching me.
Look, nothing I do is illegal.
I'm not going down like that.
You got to try harder than that, big boy. I guess. I guess at which country I'm from. You ain't finna get me. But does that resonate with anybody else? Like having that, not knowing exactly where we're from? Because being African American is one thing, but being Nigerian American is a totally different, it's a totally separate experience. Or from Ghana, or from Congo, or South Africa.
Yeah.
I didn't even find out like my dad was born in Alabama until the day of his funeral is when I found out. So like my history is
Yeah,
I don't know what I am.
I'm Mississippi.
I don't know.
I'm from Missouri. That's what I know.
Oh, you better not. See, I knew you looked like my cousin. Between you and Bars, we probably the three of us as cousins. Because my family's
Y'all-
from Tennessee,
fact, I'll tell you-
and I grew up in
makes
St.
sense.
Louis. So
All three of you wearing
I was about to
glasses.
say I'm from
shit.
Texas. I'm not from Missouri. I take
All
that
three of you
back.
got a hat on. Makes sense. I see it.
the resemblance in the hat area.
It's all
So,
this.
like, from
It's all
here
this.
to here, from here to here. Someone-
What up, big cuz?
So what if you were given a ticket to fly back today for free? Would you take it?
I'm there. Easily.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I guess
What
back to the
like-
question, like, as a kid, I had no idea anything about Africa whatsoever. Oh, my bad. Did I cut you off? My bad.
No,
You over here talking about something. What's the weather like?
What's the weather like?
Girl, don't nobody worried about you.
I don't like the
Hey
sweat.
Siri.
You better put a
Oh.
bonnet on that thing and come on, quit playing,
Get
wasting this free
you a
ticket.
wave cap if you need it.
Yeah, I got mine.
Dang.
I
Let me get
pulled
my
out a-
silk
No, but, like,
scarf.
growing
It's
up,
Juneteenth. I brought out a fresh one. Right out the
Drink
package.
it up, bring it out.
Yeah.
No, but like growing up, like everything I knew about Africa was pop culture. Like the first time I even heard Africa was watching Boys in the Hood when he called him an African booty scratcher. That was the funniest shit I ever heard in my life.
I
And
remember
up to
that.
that point, so like the Lion King and then National Geographic, that was Africa to me. So growing up and learning more is like, oh, this. So yeah, all y'all show us is people in huts, but they got cities. Like that's wow.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Lagos is
Like
full.
bustling cities.
Lagos is full of millionaires.
Who knew, right?
Right.
And
Wow.
then like what really changed my perspective is like I don't know if y'all know I live in Hawaii now, but I moved here from Korea. I lived in Korea for almost 3 years. So going there and like having my expectations completely shattered and just finding out, oh, this is a place that has cities and humans, not a bunch of anime characters. Like there are people here. Like,
What
you
do
know
you
what I mean?
mean?
So like I would take an opportunity to visit pretty much anywhere on the planet as long as I'm not getting shot at.
I'm actually with you. I think also another thing, I'm more of a historyphile where like I want to take some great trips places. Like and it's some places in the new world like I would love to go to Puka wherever that in South America where they have the
Temples.
the temples.
Oh.
I mean, like, I would love to go to see the old walls of Timbuktu. Like the old, because there's still areas where you can actually see the Maui Empire, like where it was one Maui emperor who had more money than Jeff Bezos in relationship to how if you would actually track his wealth. They said that this man went on a trip across the big sea and never returned. So
what you're saying
places
is that
like
that money is buried somewhere. No, we gotta go,
go get that.
find it.
I'm just saying it was dated to right around the time that the Mayans and the Incans start seeing people with African features. I'm just saying, I'm not saying. But places like, and I know it's more Middle Eastern, but it was still affected by the people in Nubia and like the temples in the Great Pyramids in Egypt. Like I would want to take a trip around the world of those great areas where they didn't
Machu
think we
Picchu.
were able to be Machu Picchu. That's what it was. Where it's
I chose
where
Belgrande.
go stand in the corner. Stand in the corner.
Dang.
I deserve that.
Like, or even see some actually great cities like Johannesburg is actually pretty nice. And you know, once we got rid of the whole apartheid thing, some black people started being a little bit treated better. Even though like it's almost out of water, but still, it'd be great to see the city. Like I would love to take, as long as I'm in a place where I'm not getting shot at, I will take a trip.
Amen.
Jenna, where are you going in Africa if you can go?
Oh,
Put her on the spot.
You sure did. I know with my family's church, they go to like Mali and one of those real like hard trotting kind of hut living areas where they, evangelize and all that stuff. But, just in general, it can be anywhere in Africa for me, just to see how different it is, just to see, the difference between, how I live here and versus how the culture is there. It could be any of the countries in that continent for me.
Trying to decide how to get this last. We got a couple left, and then we're gonna wrap up. This is something. This will probably take up most of the time, but we'll do this one. Mental health in the Black community.
Man, what? Does such thing exist?
This is a whole other podcast.
I know, right?
So we're gonna have to.
I was like, what? How much time?
That's why this gonna have to, because we had two, and I was like, oh, I can't not do this one. So,
that's a good one.
I'll let whoever wants to speak first, because I don't want to put anybody on the spot with a question like this. So,
all right, I go first.
Okay.
All right. So the first thing that I want to actually say, two things. Black folks need to understand that mental health is physical health. Mm-hmm. If your mind ain't right, your body ain't gonna work right.
Thank you.
Crimson from downtown.
Secondly, we got to stop thinking, and this goes to a broader extension of not just mental health, because I don't want to relate it, but things that we feel are white people problems or white people things. We need to stop acting like that. For example, and I don't want to equate this poorly, but you ever see like mental health, like people like, oh, that's white people things, where it's just like we can't afford it because healthcare should be free at the point of service, and we should have Medicare for all. But like other things, like we never accept kids that aren't either straight or are trans, because we think that that's Black people can't do that, like when it's really we don't have the resources.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And it goes along with a stigma of Black people just don't do it, when it's really we don't have the resources to fulfill it. Like, and that's why, like, and again, like you see how people came down on Dwayne Wade. You see how people came down on Will Smith about Jaden Smith. It's like, you're not mad because they're letting their kids doing what they want. You're mad because they have the resources to let their kids do what they want.
Yeah.
And I like, part of it is like we are pushed to the edges of society where we don't have jobs that actually facilitate healthcare where counselors are available. We don't have jobs, and then we look at people where they do, or it's like, oh, you're just letting your kid do this, or you're just doing this. It's like, no, they have the resources, and it goes to a class struggle as well, because what we need to fucking do is push for the same resources. Once you see where Black people get the same access to resources that more middle class Black people have or white people have, then you will start to see that perception change. But until then, it's a post hoc rationalization of what's going on. Oh, we don't do that because it's just not Black. No, you're not doing it because you don't have the resources. But once you start getting those resources, then it'll become more acceptable.
I agree. 100%.
There's so much into this. Like, it's one of those things where, like you said, you have your ad hoc excuse. Black people don't do that. That's that white folk shit. And that doesn't just come from a lack of resources. It comes from a lack of understanding, because we've always been marginalized to the nth degree. So if you say as a Black person, I need to talk to somebody, are you crazy? He must be crazy. That's that white folk shit. He crazy. You get stigmatized in the Black community.
You need to go get a job is what you need to do.
You need to talk to Jesus. Give it to Jesus and let it go.
You better pray about it.
That shit don't work.
And like my theory, I talk to my wife about this all the time. I feel like Black people need therapy more than pretty much anybody, especially
Agreed.
Black people that grow up in the inner city. Because not only do we have our generational trauma that's blended into our DNA, every generation before us has given us trauma. Before we even get here, we're born with the sins of our fathers type of thing. So we have that. And on top of growing up in the inner city, you're going to experience trauma. To you, it may seem normal, but it changes the chemicals in your brain to react to things differently. That's why you see so many Black men react snap quick over a prideful situation, because you haven't dealt with trauma. You think this is the way you're supposed to be. No, you need to deal with your issue. So it's something that we really should address. And like that whole Medicare for all thing, that would be that's a big step.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand how the hell Bernie Sanders isn't the 46th president, or how he wasn't the 45th. I don't understand Black people in this vein. I don't get it.
I'm not, and I can definitely speak to that. A lot of it is they didn't think that he was going to win.
Mm.
That's why South Carolina switched for Biden. And the sad part about it is, and I'm going to be very fucking honest. I'm going to be very fucking honest. We need to move past the whole like you said. It's like people make snap decisions. It's like for one, living in the modern world that we do, we're like I know like it is even bringing this up to say that we as humans evolved from hyperactive motherfucking monkeys that were scared about every fucking thing. To mention that to Black people, they're like, "Oh, you're just saying that." Like, no. If you're a human, you evolved from you're a simian, you're an ape, you're a great ape. Like, but it's just like it's so much trauma associated with that. It's so much trauma actually associated with that people don't even want to acknowledge sometimes science. And then you get to you were put down because of your skin color. Then you were put down because you were poor. Then you were put down because, we need to feel better about ourselves. We need to break this stigma. Like I've seen a counselor once or twice because it's something that like you can't handle this shit on your own. And I'm sorry. And the fucked up part about it is we as Black people hold the stigma against mental health, but we see when motherfuckers that aren't Black that don't get the mental health, and he's like, yeah, somebody should have talked to him. He went crazy. Motherfucker, you doing it too.
And I think even if it's not to the point of like snapping and having like that snap moment, hypertension is a motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
We are stressed out.
Yeah.
This is a very stressful place to live. And those have lingering effects. That affects your stress will affect your body eventually. And the ways that we cope with our stress,
self-medication,
are not always healthy for us. They're not always the best thing you can do for you. I mean, I'm not drinking today, but
wood up.
But when you're super upset about things and you don't know what to do to get out of it and you're feeling overwhelmed, we are very quick to turn to substances to mask the pain and to mask the trauma, when it would probably be cheaper to seek out therapy. But it's not cool to go to therapy. It's not cool to have a psychologist to work out your issues with you, so you can be cool with your family, so that you can be cool with your partner, so that you can be cool with people you meet on the street, so that you can meet people on the street or interact with people in a loving, kind, assertive way, as opposed to better watch what you say to me.
Man, so you can be cool with yourself.
So you can be cool with yourself.
Yeah, we need to destigmatize that. It takes a lot of education. I mean, it took a lot of time for the white people to come around to it too. Reagan is the one, and that was 40 years ago when he started to defund mental health services. We slowly saw this, movement of people, the mentally ill, onto the streets, into the jails. children being reintroduced to the school system. And I don't think it's a bad thing that the children were. But what we didn't do is prepare the public for those children, so that things, I mean, autism's weird. It's hard, to educate on, but even just like ADHD, like I understand it wasn't like a thing, but we still treated it before that. And we're letting all these people that have always existed into the greater society. And it's just like, well, they'll be fine. But we're not preparing them or the public for these people. So now we we have all these assholes talking about like, anti-vax and, oh, something happened. Oh, but it couldn't be, God King Reagan, because the 80s, that was the greatest era ever for the United States.
Ronald Wilson Reagan, 666. Doesn't that offend you?
We're not going to get into the okay boomer conversation because I fucking hate okay, I'm sorry. Almost. Man.
No, I'll wrap it up. But like, we need to do. I mean, so the onus is on us to destigmatize that. And I think Crimson, you were saying something about like not willing to really come to terms with the fact that you need help. But in the Black community, it's like asking for help is a weakness. Like you don't want to do that because you're seen as less than. I don't need no help. I got this. And I see that way too much. And we need to make it okay for people to get the help they need, for people to ask for help. It's not, or even in American society, it's not a handout. It's not like,
I mean, like one of the biggest problems, not just with Black people, this is on the wider American society, this hyper individualism that is fucking us over.
Yeah.
This hyper, like, I can stand up and I do bad by myself. And like we as Black people have internalized that because we've been told through various right wing and even some of our own to say, oh yeah, if Black people just act better, if Black people get married and have families, where it has been studies that came out that Black fathers spend more time with their children, married or unmarried, than any other racial groups.
That's good.
Well, how many of you pulled yourself up by your bootstraps?
I reckon that's
bootstraps.
I reckon that's what they need. That's what they need to do.
They need to be pulling themselves up out of that poverty by their bootstraps, snowflake.
Bar, you have a lot on your mind. I see it.
Oh yeah, he itching.
He's just waiting.
This.
See? Tell the truth, shame the devil.
I don't like to talk about this because I've been doing this thing where I'm trying to act as my own counselor, and it's not working. And it's like sometimes, like I got people who sometimes I wish I could just be like, I need some fucking help, but they they need help too. How the fuck they gonna help me? Like my mama. Man, I just like I literally been walking around the earth. I don't know shit. I can't ain't nobody. I don't have nobody readily available like at my disposal right now. By the time I get some fucking help, it's 2 months. I gotta set up a meeting. They gonna call me back. I gotta go fly something to it. Ain't nobody. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody helping me with this shit. Ain't nobody talking to me. Ain't nobody. Like I don't. It's like either they fucking Christians and they gonna God me to death, or they not near me. And you motherfuckers 1,000 miles away. Ain't nobody a door knock away. I can't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, we can talk on the phone and we can Skype but like I need a fucking hug. Like
yeah.
Yeah. So
I want a hug. I ain't, I'm not weak, and it ain't even about all. That's what they gonna make it about. When I say it, that's what they gonna tell me. Fucking young dudes needing hug. Oh, you must be gay. I said, what? What are you talking about? It don't got nothing to do with this. Like niggas out here, I'm fucked up. I need a hug. I need a handshake. I need somebody to come sit down right here and just be like, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm reading these fucking books. This is not a person. This shit don't fucking work all the time. I need people. You know what I'm saying? I wanna.
I understand. I definitely understand, dude. Like I'm fucking there. I'm right there with you. And it especially with COVID, it's been hard.
Especially,
it has been hard. And I don't have the answer. I'm not gonna bullshit you and say I have the answer. I don't have the answer. I fucking get it.
I have the answer. Move to Chicago. Because ain't nobody driving down to no motherfucking Memphis.
I know it, man.
Get your ass up here and we can be fucking roommates and we can kick it every day. My girl is gonna be pissed. But maybe you can live across the street.
But I just feel like I'm a people person. I love people. You know what I'm saying? I was watching this video like I'm not self-made. Ain't no self-made people. If I make it big doing whatever the fuck I do, motherfuckers getting credit and debit. I'm gonna credit people. I want people because I know I need people. You know what I'm saying? I need y'all. I need them. I need him and her. I need all these. I need people. I want people. And the worst thing you can do to people like me is lock me in a room by myself. I'll go crazy. I need my folks. I need to be around other people, and I just like to, you know what I'm saying? I like to be like a sponge. I know that's cliche. Everybody say they want to be a sponge. I'm a fucking sponge. I'm like, I'm damp. When motherfuckers talk, I just be. When people talk, I'm listening. I'm literally listening because I'm like, man, somebody might say some shit. I'm like, bro, thank you. I needed to hear that. You know, I'm not cut out for this. On my own shit, you know what I'm saying? I need,
and if
I need a therapist, I need something.
And I'll piggyback off of that. I think we can also use Juneteenth as check on your people's day.
Yeah.
Check on your people, please. Check on me, shit. I need.
You know what I'm saying? Because we are very quick to, like, and I got a buddy I'm thinking of right now. I can see his face in my head right now. I do not call him nearly as much as I need to because I'm busy with my stuff. And that's kind of the negative feedback loop of all of this, which is what Crimson's saying is the resources. It's like if we have to be each other's resource, we have to understand that is the case right now. Just like people's like, oh, Juneteenth don't do nothing. It's not going to change. It's not going to get rid of crooked cops. Yeah, but it's a step forward. So we can all make a step forward for Black mental health and check on our peoples and take the time out. You're going to be on the phone for 2-3 hours. So what? It's worth it. That's where we at right now. Until we get some sort of Jeff Bezos stimulus package, which ain't coming. We're gonna have to look out and do for ourselves like we have always done, which is what we need to continue to do, especially when it comes to things that we can do for free. It's free to talk on the phone now. We ain't got no excuses now.
I don't know, Mikey. Pitchforks cost about $19.95 at the local Home Depot. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
My phone ain't free to after 7, so.
I'm just saying, like, you know, we know Bezos just bought a big house in Beverly Hills. Elon Musk too. Pitchforks, you know, they ain't that expensive. I know what they are too. You know.
Aisle 17.
Wait, isn't Bezos the one that bought the $1 billion yacht or something?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It has a yacht that has a yacht.
Yeah, there's a yacht in the yacht in case you need to take the yacht to.
Look,
not be in your yacht.
Look, I'm in the same situation. My yacht has a yacht. I can't always dock the big yacht at these little ass ports. So that's why I got the little yacht so I can get to the port. And then I anchor offshore.
Just like you know, Betsy DeVos. Yeah, but you know what? The motherfucker's still partially made of wood. And last time I checked, oh, look, another subject.
Hey, for a second, I thought you was talking about Betsy DeVos being partially made of wood. I was like, oh, shit, damn, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, she
explain some shit.
The pedo do look like he made her ass.
If it's one thing, just to bring it back, just feeding off of what everyone has said, it's just, for me, I know that doing this, speaking to all of you, doing the stuff I do online, doing whatever it is that I do on the internet, because, internet's bad. These aren't your internet. If people on the internet aren't your friends, bullshit. I have not have been as close to people I have met online. None of y'all have met in person than I have ever been to family in most cases. Some of my deepest secrets, some of the things that I feel just comfortable sharing. And without that release, if I didn't have this for myself, I don't know where I'd be. I'd be really broken. I'd be really just desperate, clinging on to something in my head all the time for several years. It's been a teeter for me, in and out of faith, because I would just have conversations with myself. Who can I openly talk to? I didn't know anything like that. It's a baby. It's a baby. Hi, baby. Okay. The whole point with religion is that community-based thing, talking to people, sharing, communicating, all that stuff, fellowship. Same thing here. Same thing what we're doing now. And unfortunately with COVID, we lost a lot of folks, but it also brought people closer. It brought us closer. It brought a lot of people doing more live streams and reaching out to more people and finding out more people and understanding how our connections are. And, the unfortunate stigma, especially, and I can't speak for Black men because I'm not a Black man. I can only speak for Black women, especially for Black women, and especially within the church. I find that it has its own kind of toxicity when it's, even though the man is the head of the household, the woman is known as the neck. She anchors everything. She controls the house. She controls this, that, and the other. And to show weakness as a strong Black woman of fearing God, God-fearing, of faith, blah, 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 blah. I can't fathom how much I see on my mother's face, how hurt she is, but how fearful she is of shedding a tear, because that shows weakness. That shows she's less of that strong, God-fearing woman. And it's like, wow, you need someone to talk to. Yeah. Not just her daughters. You need an actual person to talk to, not your God. You need someone specialized to talk to, and to talk that down and make it seem like, oh, you're a weak person for wanting help that's not up there. It's just so detrimental to someone's thinking on things and just health overall, because if we don't have that physical connection, if we don't have that connection where we can just share and openly feel comfortable in our own skins, how do you get through life?
You don't. Struggle.
You don't.
And it's just a painful, elongated existence that is completely unnecessary. And I think, well, I will vow this on this day. I'm going to do better looking out for y'all. And that's all of y'all, even y'all watching. I'm going to do better in looking out for y'all. Because
we have to.
Because y'all are important to me. And I know you would do the same. So, any other thoughts?
I'll take that pledge.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on this? Delvin, did you want to dip in anything?
Yeah, it's kind of rough because this is a difficult topic to talk about, because it's always been a stereotype that Black men have to be strong, yeah. And they kind of make that like you have to be strong and silent, so everything that comes your way you just have to kind of take it.
Yeah,
and you can't show emotion. Like, I grew up in a family that shit would happen. Can't show emotion about it. Like I give a perfect example. And it affects me in a profound way, because in the past 3 years, I've lost both my uncles and my grandfather all in 1 year. And in that time, my family looked at me to be the one to be strong for them, to not cry, to hold everything down. and not show emotion, because if I showed emotion, they would fall apart. And I know being that person holds a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Especially when you're expected to be that person. And I think that is hard. Honestly, it's just really hard to like kind of like when you're that person in your family and you don't have nobody that can hold you down like that, it takes a lot of pressure and weight on you, and it's just difficult. I think people don't realize that being manly doesn't equate to being black, being a black man. I think they kind of make both of those kind of like one and the same, but it's not. You know, black men should be able to say, hey, I'm fucked up right now. I need help. But that's not what they allow us to do. They don't give us that grace. They don't give, they always give the black men the thing where you have to be strong, you have to just take everything that's given to you. And black women, you have to hold them down. Black women need help. Black men need help. We need, not only do we need to be there for each other, but we need to get the help when we need to get the help. Like sometimes, like that's why you have situations where you have guys go crazy and snap and can't control their family because they're dealing with a lot. You have these cases of domestic violence and these cases that only go from the father to the wife and the wife to the kids. It goes on generational because they don't get the help that they need. And that stuff, if you're not getting the help you need, it goes down from the father to the wife to the kids, and the kids pass it on to their family, and that's it's
all
just
they know.
That's all they know. And like I said, I grew up with mama getting the switch from the tree. Mama grew up with her grandma getting the switch from the tree. I made it a conscious effort to break that with my kids because I didn't want to raise them to be fearful of me. I want them to know that they have a father who is going to guide them down the right path and not guide them with fear. I think that's very important. I think it's important for us to learn from the mistakes of our elders. And this is like, and going back to it, this is one of the things that we can learn from. Black people need therapy. Simple as that.
Period.
Amen.
We can't skate around it anymore.
One of the things that I think that we also need to push in the black community is might don't make right.
Yeah.
Now, in a broader society of the U.S., like definitely need to do that because we think we the world fucking police, and like no, might don't make right. But it was specifically passed on to us because of the conditions that we've had to deal with.
Right.
You don't whoop your kid's ass? How they gonna learn?
Teach.
Talk to them. You shouldn't care what your kids think. Why? They're humans. The only way I know how to deal with a kid is to whoop their ass, I failed. I have a lack of imagination. I have a lack of patience. I have a lack of intelligence because I know if I can whoop their ass and shut them up, then I done my job. Did you teach them anything? I taught them to be scared of me.
You're also 8 times bigger than they are, so good job. Pat yourself on the back.
Oh, just because you think you big as me, that don't mean I won't whoop your ass. Like you. The only reason why some of these people actually don't beat their abusive parents is because their abusive parents instilled fear in them since they were age 3.
And just think about it like this. These are the same tactics that were used against slaves.
Yeah.
He would beat slaves. Hey, you're never going to be above me. And you need to follow what I say or I'm going to beat you. And it's been taught to black people to pass it on to their generation and their generation. If we can't get our children to do what they need to do, beat them. That's insane. This is not something, this was taught to us.
Right. It's a learned behavior.
And while you over there, go read this Bible too, boy.
Right.
Yeah. The Bible was also part of that in terms of, hey, how do we control them? Give them this book. let them follow this book, and this is your rules, and this is kind of, they instilled Christianity in us to keep us in check.
Yeah.
Not only are you physically something wrong with you because of your skin, you spiritually broken.
You will never be good enough.
Damn.
And without ignoring everyone's things, and I'm glad, and for all of you, I'm glad we all were able to open up and share about these things, because this is the start of it. You know what I'm saying? Being open about, yeah, my mental is not great every day. That's the start. And then now we've taken the first step. Now we can all move to the second step, third step, where it's finding a therapist, getting help, making support communities, making support circles, and all that stuff. That's on us now. It's out there. So now we have to follow through, right? And speaking about the parents thing, and I held not a lot of resentment, but me and my mom definitely didn't always get along. But as I got older and I understood what she was going through at the moment when I was a teenager in America as a black single mom trying to figure shit out, and I'm just an asshole, right? I don't care about none of this shit. I'm just an asshole. So I, as an adult now, I get that. Wow, what a hard job. Wow, what a hard job. And that's why I spoil her now. I buy her whatever she wants. Anything she wants, she got. I was watching TV and I saw the. No, hold on. There's two of them coming to the house. Just make sure you at the door so the neighbors don't steal it like last time.
We're gonna send it to the Amazon locker when I send you the code.
Yeah.
There you go.
How close are you to the post office? But I, in summation, I understood that she was doing the best she could. She was applying the tools that she had to do the best she could. So in that larger therapy tip, we have to be able to forgive ourselves for messing up. So our parents might have messed up. Our friends might have messed up. We might have messed up. We have to say we made a mistake, and that's not the end of it. Now, how do I start undoing this? How do I start getting out of this hole that we're in right now? And we can work together to get out of that. It don't have to be just you with a shovel trying to dig up. You can get some homies with you to throw you a rope or two, and then you can start throwing that dirt in that hole. And then I think we'll all be better, and kumbaya and all the other mushy shit that I'm leaving on right now. But I think y'all feel what I'm saying. It's we're not gonna be perfect. We've come a great distance in a short amount of time with no rest, with no dare I say reparation? No, we haven't repaired ourselves. We haven't healed.
Dare.
We haven't healed. And I think we're kind of in a spot now in society where we can at least start looking inwardly and start healing some of the traumas and some of the wounds that have been gaping and bleeding all over our society, whether it be chronic homophobia or just some of the things that we love to hold on to as if they are ours, like holding all your feelings in. That's not beneficial. That's something that we got to heal. Not treating everybody like we were treated, as if that's a thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how much time everybody got. How y'all do? Y'all got one more in you, or we?
No, we good.
Man, I'm starting to get hangry.
How about you, Jenna? How you feeling over there?
I'm good. We got clips. But
we have clips.
We got two.
We got two clips. We had a couple of
For
people.
about 5 minutes.
We had a couple of people that were not able to join us today, but they were able to record a little something, and Jenna's gonna screen for us.
Yes, I will. So one of them. So you know, Okay, technology. One is from Bryce Cornell. He's part of the Tang group. So let me go ahead and pull it up.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Rabble.
There you
Red
go.
is looking a little sus. Oh, you said talk among or
Talk amongst us.
Okay. All right, here we go.
Bryce, I would like to thank the nonprofits for giving me the opportunity to speak on behalf of the Juneteenth celebration. So, I was born the day before Juneteenth, so I'm actually celebrating my birthday this weekend, and I'm going to be on my way to Las Vegas. So, unfortunately, I had to pre-record this. When I was growing up, I learned that Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves in 1865. Unfortunately, I also learned that Christopher Columbus discovered America. Neither one of these things is true, it turns out. Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation in 1862. Unfortunately, it wasn't enforced, and Texas was one of the states that didn't enforce it. They were actually able to maintain slavery. It wasn't until June 19th, 1865, that slavery was officially abolished in Texas, meaning that it was abolished officially in the United States, at least on paper. I'm happy that the celebration of Juneteenth is becoming more popular, that it's becoming recognized as a celebration of emancipation. I only wish it were more. As a Black person, what's your favorite thing about yourself? This is a weird question to me because I don't really think I have a favorite thing about myself. I try to avoid self-adoration as much as possible and really leave it to other people to judge my character. So, but I will say that I consider myself very fortunate and content where I am in life, and I think that that doesn't really relate to my Blackness so much as me being fortunate enough to take advantage of some opportunities that I was presented, being in the right place at the right time, being determined, being willing to see things through, and also having a social network available that allowed me to accomplish those opportunities. So that doesn't really relate to my Blackness so much. It just relates to kind of the opportunities that I was able to take advantage of that a lot of other people were not. What does Black dysphoria mean? And is it something that I've ever actually personally experienced? The idea that people are ashamed of being Black or uncomfortable with their Blackness, possibly because of the way their race, because the Black race has been treated or that they've been marginalized. Maybe they were made fun of for being dark-skinned. This isn't really something that I've experienced myself, but at the same time, I do recognize that just as we have white privilege and that it's a very real thing, light skin privilege is real too. And it's possible that I just haven't faced the same kind of struggles as a lot of other Black people in America would, just due to the fact that I don't present as Black as some other people would. I've always been very proud of Black history, Black culture, being part of a culture that is so rich and so storied, from the athletes that we have to the celebrities, the entertainers, politicians, civil rights leaders. Black people have done such great things in the world and in America in particular. So I'm very proud of that, and I would hope that other people would be too. I don't really talk about being proud to be Black because I don't think you should really be proud of your race, but at the same time, you shouldn't be ashamed of it either. We didn't choose what race we were. That was just something that we were born as. So, not something to be proud of so much as it is something to avoid shame over. Be proud of your heritage, be proud of your culture, be proud of what Black Americans have accomplished in the world, especially given everything that they've gone through. And be familiar with Black history, including Juneteenth, the celebration of emancipation. So thanks again to the ACA for giving me this opportunity. Thanks to the nonprofits. I really appreciate it. And I'm glad that you guys are spreading the word. I'd like to give a shout out to everyone in Austin. And I think it's poetic that you guys are celebrating Juneteenth, as it is a full circle from Texas being the last holdout state. So that is awesome that it's being recognized there and everywhere else in the world. Thank you guys for teaching me a new term, by the way. Something I will definitely be adding to my vocabulary. I would like to do a little bit more research about this, and hopefully I'll be able to recognize it the next time, the next time I encounter someone who may have that. So that's really cool. I'm glad I was able to look that term up. So thank you guys.
I'm definitely glad he was too. I made it up.
Should we tell everybody that you made it?
Well, all right. A final one. This comes from someone that is, I guess you could say, one of the few leaders that we have for Black Nonbelievers, is the actual founder and president of the Black Nonbelievers, and that is Mandisa Thomas.
Hello, I'm Mandisa Thomas, founder and president of Black Nonbelievers. I am so happy to be joining you this Juneteenth weekend. I would say that my Black identity is very, very important to me, just as much as being an atheist is. And the one thing that I'm very, very proud of is knowing that I come from a lineage of ancestors who are very strong, creative, and that we have survived so many odds against us. And I am very, very proud to carry on that legacy. And I think more of us, the more we honor that, the more we honor our Blackness and what we have overcome, it will truly help people understand who we are, where we come from, and where we're going. I wouldn't say that I experience any Black dysphoria or this feeling or this feeling of discomfort with being Black, but I have felt a sense of isolation and a sense of discomfort at times within my own community. I knew in other ways that I was different, and that I felt sort of out of place, like the black sheep, if you will. But it certainly never made me feel like I wanted to be anything but Black and identify with my community. So that was never ever a question. Sure, there are issues that I have and there are things that I will challenge us on, but as far as I would never ever trade being Black for the world. I have visited the continent of Africa when I was 14 years old. I visited Ghana on a youth trip in August in 1991. I was 14 years old. Uh, I would say that some of my preconceptions at the time, because I was raised so very Afrocentric, I certainly was not scared of the trip, but I knew it would be a different experience. So I also know that it was very different than it is now. It's probably a bit more developed. I would absolutely love to go back if I could to see what those developments are. I would love to visit other countries on the continent. And I would also love to connect with our fellow brothers and sisters who are leaving religion behind, because I know over there it is still a challenge. So it would be awesome to meet with more of them. I would say also too that our mental health for ourselves is extremely important. We must continue to improve on our health, especially since in our communities, mental health there's still a stigma around seeing a therapist and taking care of ourselves emotionally and mentally. And it is absolutely crucial for us it has benefited me in my personal life. I recently, as of last year, started seeing a therapist full time, and it has totally helped reshape my outlook. It has helped me with improving on myself, establishing boundaries, and realizing that there is much more power that I have and control that I have over my life. And also it has helped with recovering from some traumas that I had. And I think that for all of us, especially within the Black community, we could certainly benefit from recovery, from generational, societal, and also personal traumas. I think this is absolutely important for us as we move forward. Thank you all very much once again for tuning in. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your Juneteenth weekend. Continue to learn more about the celebration, bask in your Blackness, and also in your atheism. Bye-bye.
Well, I'm definitely gonna start basking. I don't know if y'all had any plans on basking, but basking is on the top of my list. I ain't even thought about how much basking I was about to do.
Man, me and Baskin gonna get together with Robin.
Hey man, glory.
Yeah, and I will answer you, Andrea. We did have Cynthia McDonald. She was an absentee as well, but she did have something in which we will upload to Mikey's channel and post this. So unfortunately, she couldn't get it to me. So it will be uploaded somewhere. So that way we can hear her words on the questions that we spoke of and what we shared today.
And this is just the first annual. We still got next year, which I'm expecting to be even more people.
We're doing this next year?
Y'all are not invited. I'm getting all new people. Y'all are out. Getting out of here. I got to out with the old and with the new. I need the freshest ones on my feet. Can't be having no stale Air Force Ones on my feet, all scuffed up and the rubber turning yellow. Nah, can't be me. No, I definitely hope you guys come in next year. So
next week it is.
Next week. Yeah, Juneteenth is every week now. You messed up, white people.
Every Saturday.
Every Saturday is Juneteenth.
Yeah, I've seen a number of streams, and while I appreciate the effort, I do really love that you actually got some Black people on your stream to talk about Black issues, Mikey.
I had a lot of white allies who were totally like, cool, I'm available. I'm like, that is nice. I'm glad that you're available to watch the stream. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know.
See you commenting in the chat.
I am so glad you will be in appearance on the chat. I'm glad that you'll be able to watch the whole thing live, and make sure you thumbs up and share. Lots of comments, all that stuff. Yeah, that was sorry guys. It was important to me that there was Black voices tonight. Sorry, not sorry. I don't know. That's the way that these things work out. And it's not, but it's not a bad thing, because these are perspectives that maybe some of my non-Black allies would not have heard had they been here.
Exactly.
So, sometimes when your group is not the group that is up to the plate per se, sometimes it's more important to listen than to share.
Exactly.
Oh,
I mean,
my God.
I'm an ally, obviously June is also Pride Month. I recognize myself as a cis het female. So yeah, there's a lot that I can ally for on their part. There's a lot that I can be more spoken about, but the key is, and that's for anyone that's not of that group or any group that's not of them, sit back, open your ears, close your mouth, listen. Because only our voices speak our real truths.
Right.
Yeah, agreed.
What you just said, a lot of people have heard is, shut up, white people, don't say nothing. Like for real. I would encourage, if anybody had a problem, with that, for them, I would encourage them to watch Bo Burnham's most recent special, Inside. He addresses your concern within the first 20 minutes of what you should do.
No, yeah, and it's not again, it is not I think I spoke very early on about the importance of white allies and, you know, how much we respect and appreciate them and their efforts. We cannot do anything we do without you. But yeah, like Jenna was saying, there have been 2 or 3 streams that I declined to speak in because they were LGBT. And I mean, I am so cis, I really almost can't even relate to, like, I relate to the stuff I can, but I don't feel comfortable speaking on it. And it's not that, yeah, I like to think that I'm an ally. And I, being part of a Black family, often have to denounce a lot of the words said by many people in my family about that are negative towards members of the LGBT community. Often. I don't know if I mentioned that. it just, you know, find their ways sneaking into conversations. I don't even know how that happens. But I'm an ally, and I will speak up when they can't. But I think during the stream, it's more important to, get the message out.
Agreed. So final wrapping things up. Would everybody like to go around the circle? Tell everybody where they can find you, how they can support you.
Yeah, I'll go first. All right. My name is Maya. I am a Rabbit fan. You can find me in your streams supporting you.
Got him. I'll just go down the little list I have over here. Delvin Cox, who is muted.
Yo, Mikey, muted, big bro.
Yeah.
You can find me on Twitter at Devin_Cox and check out the Devin Cox Experience anywhere you get podcasts.
It's a great show.
I think so.
I'm writing it down.
Blatant Blatheist.
You're muted too, big bro.
Oh my
Big cuz.
god.
Big cuz, you gotta unmute yourself, big cuz.
Oh my god. We got so far. We got so far to the show. Okay, here. Okay.
Is it on the TV behind you? Is that it on the TV?
Yeah, it's okay.
That's
See if you can correct your stuff. We'll come back. We'll circle back.
Okay.
Oh wait. Oh, hold on.
You can give me that. You can give me that.
There you go.
Okay.
There it is.
At Blatant Blatheist. Found him on Twitter. And I'm sure his channel is of the same name. Like, you lost an AirPod. You tripping, homie. Tripping. All right, here we go.
Oh yeah. See, okay. Listen to me. Listen to me. I'm 27 subscribers away from 1K. And you can find me on YouTube at Black Atheist Rent. That is at Black Atheist Rent. You need to go subscribe and watch my shit. A lot of it is rough, but you'll get through. I'm holding.
Crimson.
Hello, everybody. This is Crimson 60620, other known as Crimson, and I want to say that if you want to get some crazy ideas from a leftist that you should not fuck with, you can check out my YouTube channel, my Twitch channel, or if you want to get some great art, you can check out my Etsy page at Lone Sage Art. But I am not the leftist you want to fuck with.
That's more than 3.
He said, I'm taking all the rest of my F's now.
Like 40 fuck, man.
There she is.
Hello. You can follow me on Twitter at Jenna_BFA. I share a channel, International Free Thinkers. We just recently broke our 100 subs. So, that's a milestone, and it's good. And, the small little community that I've built and share with my friends is all the more of it just being great. So I continue to do it as little as it is. Also, I'm a part of the Atheist Community of Austin, the nonprofits on Sundays in the afternoon at 3 p.m. I'm occasionally a host or a guest or anything like that. So, but yeah, that's it.
And y'all tell that I really enjoyed that Bernie Mac part in in the Kings of Comedy.
Hold
on, are you talking about the Mick and Cookies? That's what you're talking about?
No, the motherfucker.
Oh, yeah.
Him downstairs.
You might hear the.
Who the fuck is him?
I love me some Bernie Mac, man.
Rest in peace,
Oh,
the
man,
the
Bernie.
GOAT.
Man, that Bernie Mac get you right, get you where you going, man.
I still call every little girl I see, I'm like, baby girl, come here, baby girl. And I'm Mikey Famine. You guys know me because you're on my channel, so I guess I don't have to shield today. Nice.
I don't know you.
You know what? All the flowers to you, Mikey. This was your idea. You saw this vision. You wanted to bring, the voices that we have in this community.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Good. It looked good too. Look at us.
Beautiful. And also, I would be remiss if I didn't say thank you, Jenna, so much for all of your hard work. She's the one who put together the skeleton. She made the intro. She did a lot more work than she's ready to take credit for. And I thank you so much for your intrepid work in this, our first annual Juneteenth celebrating Blackness. So for me and everyone else on the panel, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us and watching. We will see you guys next year. And remember, y'all, stay black.
Is it over? Is it over? Oh.
Can't take him nowhere.
You supposed to give me like a cue or a cut?
Oh, sorry.
Just ruin the audio.